Chair Kelly Nelson.
Thank you, Chris. Welcome, everyone. It was great. I was taking note during all the introductions. It's nice to have such a wide group of sponsors and donors and employees and volunteers and alumni and staff, everybody all together. So thank you for joining us. I echo Chris, welcome to our first and hopefully last virtual meeting. We certainly had hoped to have an in-person meeting, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. I would like to take just a minute to introduce our board members. Some of them are with us here. Some of them will be joining us. I am, as Chris said, the current board president, Kelly Nelson. Nancy Grenier is our current vice president. Ashley Gagnon is our treasurer. Molly Shuckey is our secretary. And board members Mike Guyson, Steve Labonte, Casey Moody Dabney, and our newest board member, Joe Philippon, who all are making, and I know Joe will help to make great contributions. So we are here, not at a in-person meeting that we have always enjoyed being able to get everybody together, really taking time to thank everyone and acknowledge all of the work and the support and talk a little bit about what the agency has been doing. So we felt it was important, even though we were not able to do the meeting in person, that we have an opportunity to provide a snapshot of our 40-year history and how that has changed people's lives. It goes without saying for everyone here, I am sure that this past year has been challenging. It has presented significant challenges in many ways for the agency and personally for many of our employees, board members, volunteers alike. But through it all, in the midst of a global pandemic, which I'm sure none of us thought we would ever say in our lifetime, in the midst of a global pandemic, we didn't lose sight. We have not lost sight of what our mission is, and that's to partner with youth to create lasting change so that all youth have a safe place to live and opportunities to grow. And over this past year, the agency has proven that we are adaptable, that we are resilient, and we are certainly excited to show some of the successes that we've had in navigating these uncharted waters. It's been important for the board to remain active, and we have continued to meet regularly. We adapted how we did this, but it was critical that we continue to do that. And we're a volunteer board. This is a commitment that we've made, and we have stayed committed to that. We've met regularly. We've ensured that our committees continue to meet, and the work is getting done for the agency, and we're proud to be part of that. With that, I will thank you again. With that, I will turn it over to Nicole and Rachel.
Thanks so much, Kelly. I just want to thank you all again for coming today. I already introduced myself at the beginning, but my name is Rachel Spencer-Reed. I'm the Director of Development and Community Relations here at New Beginnings. I use she, her pronouns. And it's just great to see a spectrum of folks from the community represented who are interested in joining us today for some updates and information about how our organization has been doing. For those of you who joined us for our last biggest ever in-person annual dinner, which was in 2018 at the Hilton. You might have an idea of what we had originally hoped we might be able to do to celebrate our 40th anniversary. We really wanted to have a big party and to celebrate all of our volunteers, our staff, our board, and our supporters. But, you know, COVID had other ideas. So here we are a year later on Zoom for a very different kind of connection, a lot less fancy, a lot less of a celebratory event, but still important to make those connections. And so as a lot of organizations have, we've had to use our resources a lot more carefully since COVID hit. We're really grateful for our supporters who typically a lot of local businesses have sponsored our annual dinners in the past. And many of those, including some of you that are here represented today, We're able to convert those sponsorships to annual fund gifts last year, which we are super grateful for, which we had no idea whether we'd be able to reach our annual fund goal last year, given the state of the world, and we were able to do that. So we're just really thankful for all of you who support New Beginnings so that we can continue to keep our doors open for young people who need us. So along with those careful use of resources, we don't have a slick, fancy video for you about our agency history. We wanted to try to keep this really informal and right to the message that we wanted to share. We will be publishing an expanded 2020 annual report later this year to honor our 40th anniversary. So that'll be available both in an online and a print version. So keep an eye out for that. And if you or your business would be interested in helping sponsor that report itself, we would love to still have some more sponsors of that. And so you can reach out to Nicole. I do want to invite folks to check out our history timeline on our new agency website, which launched in November. So if you go to newbeginmaine.org and click the About menu bar, there is a button on that page that kind of scrolls through, and it's mobile enabled. Just sort of a spectrum of all of our programs that we developed since the first emergency shelter program opened in 1980. And I think Nicole just popped that in the chat as well. So instead of focusing today on all the changes that our agency has gone through over the last 40 years, what we really want to focus about today is what has stayed the same. And what that is that we continue to partner with youth, as Kelly mentioned, to make sure that vulnerable young people in Maine have the safety, connections, and growth that they need. That's what our agency has been doing for 4 decades. That's what we kept on doing all last year through COVID, keeping our programs operating. And that's what we'll continue to do in the future. So